Welcome back to top four of this final T&E before the Invitational next week, as we have almost with the Rainbow Relics deck playing up against Marten on the Argenport Svetya min range, the Minotaur less list, as almost kind of a hero story this T&E, honestly, because he started off 2-0, and after the 2-0 start, went 0-2 into the bye in the final round to pick up the third win and getting in 8th place on Breakers, actually, and already paying off, getting to the top four.
Yeah, so another look at this deck.
Yep, as similar, we saw it before. We saw it on camera actually a couple times with the Clear the Ways and the Striding Skylines, really looking for those relic synergies, stuff like Rat Cage, powerful relics like Dinosaur Nest, and then some various things like Lobotomy or Severin to help synergize with those relics. Looking to really do its own thing, and similar to the match we actually looked at before on camera, the Argenport deck really looking to disrupt as much as possible and finish off with its own powerful top end. Notably, though, exploit the only form of interaction here. Black Book, while it's only 4 extra copies of interaction, can be very critical in matchups like these where it's really important you disrupt as much as possible, like these combo decks.
Mm. Okay, so almost had to mull a 6-power hand. Gets what I think is a decent hand. Going to pledge one of these Severins for a left-right courtier on 2, but then no relics castable on 3. Never mind that.
There's the
Okay.
Dinosaur Nest.
So almost isn't the aggro deck. So I think the first thing that comes out is the courtier. But yeah, this exploit's going to see his dinosaur nest and just say, yeah, about that, no.
And then we're just going to be back to no castable relics on 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The invoke from the Severin could potentially change that if it invokes Primal. However,
The
that is
Severin isn't an invoke card. The Severin plays a relic.
see not pledge. That's what
Oh,
Severin has. My mistake. I was
yep.
for
It's
I
pledge, not inscribe, but not Severin.
yep. I said invoke. I meant inscribe, and then it had pledge.
Yes. I was very confused for a moment there. Yeah, no such luck with the old pledge cards. Oh, Christmas comes early for almost as he top decks a Huru Tome, unlocking Primal just in time.
Yep.
This most likely sees the Thicket Trap come out and get exchanged for a power. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Thicket Trap going to be coming down. Also, critically, Lunar Claw that we saw in Stormguard's version of the list that also helped with interaction against this deck, not present in Marten's build. So the Thicket Trap's much less stock. Keep the armor down for Magni, but those can happen anytime.
okay, Severin comes out.
Yep, and Cobalt Ring the hit there.
Oh, here's Roland. Okay,
Rat
so
Cage gonna be good.
unlike Combust, which sacrifices a unit and therefore gives Roland a Reaper, Left Right Lobotomy doesn't do such things. So I have to imagine we see this Cobalt Ring activated and then sacrificed to this Left Right Lobotomy to get rid of this Roland. You don't want him sticking around. But, oh, well, I stand
Waystone Gate also
corrected.
good sacrifice target. Not played power this turn, I believe, from
After
almost.
all, but yeah, there's a Severin on the board, so Stone Gate coming down.
Yep.
Zoltan Conclave going to, yep. gonna ping almost for 2, get that fire, and then
Y-
immediately sacrifice it for a giant. Wow.
Yeah, and they critically right now, actually, the 8/8 giant is a multi-faction unit, and so the annihilate is not going to be able to deal with it, and nothing in Martin's hand is going to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Can mark
So
it for something, but other than that, and chooses to mark it. I believe that was a market for a Roland previously marketed away.
uh no. I don't think there was any unit. Oh wait, yeah, there's
Oh,
the
there was
Roland.
no. You're correct. There was no.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
The Roland was the draw. There was no market. There was no unit. Justice Etching's the market. It is. It has been a long day here at the end of this tournament.
Mm-hmm. So if Martin wants to exhaust that Roland to go to the market, this Roland cannot block this giant. Might even be dangerous to block the Severn.
Yeah, things like Thicket Trap that are present and just so happen to be present in Almost's hand could make that a kind of a rough block. And chooses
Yep.
not for that very reason.
Yep. Martin realized if there's a thinking trap, this game's just over. So this game might be over anyway because we're fair exchanging this giant.
Yep, fair exchange. You can indeed fair exchange that giant for any number of powerful units that are in that market. That market built entirely around the fair exchange. Not a single card there that is not intended to be used there. Also, obviously, no other market cards anyway.
Right. The issue is that if almost goes for the fair exchange, I think there is a nothing remains in in Martin's list. There might be. So yeah,
Uh,
almost
yes.
choosing not to.
Yeah, there is the nothing remains in Martin's list that can be gotten with that justice etchings. So holding off on the fair exchange for that very reason. Uh, Striding Skyline, as impressive as it may be, not as impressive without charge when the nothing comes down.
Right.
Is we are gonna see that nothing remains. Definitely have to do this. Facing
Absolutely.
down that 8/8 giant, not gonna be very fun. The Davia, however,
So
having
sure.
a stop the nothing remains, you'd be left over with just a 6/6, but at 9 life, that 6/6 is a 2-turn clock.
Fair enough. Here are the Reapers. The Thicket Trap's going to wipe them out.
Yep. And an Arcanum Hourglass, not too useful right now, but it is a relic to trigger the Lethrai Scavenger. Or Courtier, my mistake. Trigger the Lethrai Courtier, draw some extra power, ramp up a little bit. The Thicket Trap, like you said, coming down to clear those means Davia gets in and puts all Martin to 3.
Let's just get some more power from the top of the deck out of the way. Okay, there's a Roland.
Yep.
Oof.
And a very critical Stormholt knife here. Obviously, less than 10 life Stormholt knife is free.
But
However, Martin either wanted to go out in style or forgot that the Thicket Trap was in play.
right. Yep. Martin commits Sudoku.
Yep, as that Stormholt knife comes down, just killing himself on the Davia. Gonna be moving to game 2 here
Yep.
as
Hey, 5-5 takes out the 5-5. Yeah, except when it's a 5-1.
a very, I'd say, interesting showing by the Relic decks, as you saw a lot of the synergy that the Relic deck has, but strangely enough, the other than the Waystone Gate, not a lot of powerful synergies, I would say, going on. You saw stuff like Left Right Courtier, you saw Severin come down, you certainly saw good cards coming down,
Hmm.
but uh, it wasn't quite the explosive draws that we saw previously with those striding skylines and with the fair exchanges for stuff like Azendel that were kind of prevented by the nothing, but still enough to take it down, obviously.
I mean, like what we're seeing out of Almost deck is the idea of draw, 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 draw. Eventually, you hit your Waystone Gate into Fair Exchange. It's basically, hey, when you draw, 10 extra cards per game, it doesn't matter if their quality isn't as good as your opponent's.
Yep. And I'd say we're also very much seeing the impact of only running the 4 exploit for the interaction
Yeah,
compared to Stormguard's list from earlier having the 12 pieces of interaction with the main deck Lunar Claw, exploit, and Black Book.
yeah. Argenport, really getting some tools this last set to really disrupt, and it's up to players to employ them.
Yep. It's also a very interesting deck building option, honestly, because you have a lot of options and there's enough choices for Argenport that it's, especially in a format as open as Throne, you could very easily have 6 players show up on Argenport mid range and none of them are playing the same list. And they could all be correct, even.
Depends what they expect from the meta, but no one has any player on exactly Rainbow Relic Sacks striding skyline craziness.
Yeah.
That's just almost will bring some insane almost deck that only almost can pilot.
and I definitely agree with that statement. If I were preparing for this tournament, I would not say I would expect to play against the Striding Skyline deck.
Okay, Roland comes out, and immediately we suffocate a dinosaur, get that Reaper.
Yep, Suffocate not having a lot of play in this matchup. Dinosaurs, Lethrai Courtiers, really the only ones that you're going to be seeing. Emerald Ring off Severin also.
Okay. Ditching the fair exchange. Okay. We are not blocking Roland. He has decay. Enforcer going to enforce as it
Going,
normally does.
yep, going
More
to enforce that
dinosaurs
Severin.
coming out.
Fair Exchange is there. Obviously, nothing to Fair Exchange into, or nothing to Fair Exchange away right now. You get a Cobalt and an Emerald Ring. Those would be pretty good right now if they were 2 less to activate.
Okay. There is the bottled storm for almost an exploit right off the top. Get that
Yep.
bottled storm out of here.
Does have a choice. The Thicket Trap, uh, and obviously not going to be that impactful right now. I could have seen an argument made to make sure that you have the armor for later, just in case you wanted to prevent something like what happened last game, just to make sure that your Magnies that were going to be potentially coming down later were going to be able to grow bigger. But the Thicket Trap also obviously not particularly impactful at the very moment, not as much as Bottled Storm.
Right. Okay. Lethari Cartier comes down with the Thicket Trap, and then almost able to find another Bottled Storm. Okay, this Pitfall Trap is a. Oh, it was off. It was seen from the Pitfall Trap.
From the Cobalt Waystone, I believe.
Ah, right. Okay, so Enforcer asks for a trade. Okay, trade accepted. Roland grows and plays a Reaper.
Yep, and 2 Parliament Elders are gonna be able to come down right now. Thank you, Unleash Mechanic.
That's not nothing. That is not negligible. That's 4 more attack in the air. Also, that play power. So, okay, we have the Waystone Gate coming out. That's going to deal with this Reaper.
Ooh. Lethal Lobotomy being able to take out the Roland here is very big, especially I know Bottled Storm is on the table, so gonna be able to take a
Take
draw
out the
for
Roland, draw 3.
yeah.
Let's go. And a pair of 0-cost relics will get more power, more units on the board because one of them is a rat cage. Oh, there's an existing rat cage, so that's 2 rats. How
Yep.
about another 2 rats? Plunder away this power for a treasure trove. And yeah, now we see, why almost deck can just win because at some point you hit that bottle storm, you draw 3, and then. But oh, look out! Stormhawk plating takes out both Severins.
Stormhawk plating, I believe a Thicket Trap is in play, and so would only be able to take out
Ooh,
1 Severin.
right.
Yep, Thicket Trap is in fact in play, so Stormhawk plating could come down and take out the Severin that is non-silenced, which would help limit the shenanigans, but really tough to stem the bleeding at this point with the double rat cage in play right now. Especially
There's
with a
another bottle storm.
bottled storm off the top is going to be even more useful generating 2 rats, and you can even that's an Argenport Tome. So Argenport Tome can come in, get undepleted power, play Severin to get a Waystone to reduce the cost of the bottled storm in your hand to get 2 more rats generated.
Yeah.
This is
Just go with the left right courtier and then the Severin and just draw more cards.
yeah, this is just an insane display right now. As Martin's
So
even
what do
going
you
down
think
too.
about almost deck not having a lot of powerful cards?
Not powerful in isolation, but as you could clearly see, even the smallest synergies really do add
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's just bunches and bunches of synergies here. And once a deck gets rolling, then it runs away with things.
And with the other match finished, we're going to be taking a quick break before we bring you back our finals. I'd imagine we're going to get the bracket for you up to just see who won the other match. The other match being Phoenix and Beowulf. That was it. So Phoenix took down their match, and Almost, obviously, we just saw on camera taking down their match. So it's going to be a Phoenix versus Almost finals. That's TJP aggro versus this 5 faction relic deck. Don't go anywhere. I'm excited to see it.